Hello guys, welcome to my channel. V1 changes are out, so let's talk about them. Evelyn received some nice buffs. Also, Astra Yao did receive some changes. I'm personally very happy to see that Evelyn received buffs, because there was some talk about her not being as impressive in terms of damage. But nevertheless, I believe now she's going to be in a much better place. So we'll start with Evelyn Changes first. I guess we can talk about her V engine first. Her V engine did get buffed as well. The critical damage boost has been increased from 40% to 50%, and also the chain attack or ultimate will now give you a stack of charge, and each stack of charge will allow the wielder chain attacks and ultimate to ignore 12.5% fire res. This stacks up to 2 times, meaning you'll have 25% fire res ignore, which is very powerful. Her V engine definitely became so much better and probably much more enticing to pull. Now let's talk about the rest of her changes. But before that, I would like to let you know that a lot of you guys who watch me are not subscribed. If you like to support this channel, feel free to subscribe, smile, and now let's continue with the video. Her normal attack branch 1 and also normal attack branch 2 has received a nice change as well. Now during the execution of the move, interrupt resistance is increased and also damage taken is reduced by 40% for both of it. This is very nice, so you're not going to get actually interrupted and also to take less damage. There's more and more enemies that are more aggressive and could easily interrupt you, so you can now do this damage even outside of stuns without having to worry that you'll get interrupted. Her Ascension also received a nice buff. Now Evelyn will get an Ascension point whenever she deals damage with branch skill 1 or branch skill 2, not twice with it. This means she will be able to get Ascension points much faster, which is very good because by consuming 3 Ascension points whenever she does her branch attack, it will be converted into a chain attack, and you do want to do chain attacks because she does have damage boosted for chain attacks. Overall, this is a nice DPS increase for Evelyn. They also have changed her X special skill. Now you'll no longer be able to continuously consume energy to accumulate additional branch skill points with this X special skill, because you're gonna get more Ascension points from Ascension and also more from quick assists, assist follow-ups, and dodge counters. So overall, you'll have a nice generation of these points without having to spend more extra energy as before to get them. This would also mean that perhaps now she's less quote-unquote dependent on Astra Yao for that energy, because she can get points elsewhere without having to use this extra additional energy, which seems very nice. Her Mindscapes also received some changes. Evelyn M1, now it will ignore 12% of target defense instead of 8. I believe this could still be increased more, and I did expect this one to get changed. Her Mindscape 2 has also been changed, well, more like switched around in a way. It seems her old Mindscape 2 became Mindscape 4. This is something that I also kind of predicted, that this seemed more of a quality of life type of Mindscape, which is usually Mindscape 4. The new Mindscape 2 will increase her attack by 10%, and when Evelyn uses attack branch 1 or normal attack branch 2, the consumed branch skill points will be refunded, which can be triggered at most once every 25 seconds. Also, the interrupt resistance of Evelyn chain attack used by consuming Ascension points is increased. That means that perhaps in the base kit, the interrupt resistance is not as strong. Hopefully it is good enough so we don't get interrupted, but we will have to see it actually in practice. Obviously, this new Mindscape 2 is much better. Meanwhile, the old Mindscape 2, like I already said, it became Mindscape 4. And also, her Mindscape 6 did receive a change. The enhanced state lasts up to 20 seconds instead of 30. Everything else, I believe it's the same. And now, let's talk about Astra Yao changes. Astra Yao did receive some changes as well. Now she will restore 35 energy to herself and adding 3 additional Starlight Strikes for each node consumed. consumed compared to before, where you just consume notes to add Starlight Strikes. Now you will also be able to get this 35 energy, which seems very good. Her core passive also has been changed. They removed the specific part where you had a 0.1 second cooldown that you could not get energy after switching through quick assist or chain attack. That has been completely removed. This is a very interesting change because usually they like to keep such limitations, but okay. Now let's talk about her Mindscape I. It has received a nice buff. Now it will reduce all enemy attribute damage resistance by 7%, stacking up to 3 times. So it's more than before. And on top of that, they will also give you a nice protection effect after using ultimate, which lasts for 60 seconds, which will give you an invincibility effect, which lasts for 1 second. The biggest loss of Mindscape I is that Astra Yao can no longer trigger quick assist even when her energy is insufficient, but beside that, it's a pretty strong Mindscape I. Mindscape II also received a big change. Now it's a much bigger, larger text. After using ultimate, Astra Yao can trigger quick assist even if her energy is insufficient within 30 seconds. So this used to be the part of Mindscape I. Now it's effectively in Mindscape II, which is unfortunate because this is quite strong. Well, I believe the Mindscape I had the 15-second duration, but still, it was strong. Also, the interval for gaining notes through hitting attacks is shortened to 1 second. During this period, characters switching with quick assist gain the following enhancements based on their class. So, for example, attackers will deal additional damage. Anomaly will have increased anomaly build-up rate. Stunners will have a increased ace value. Defense units will restore energy on their heavy hits. Supports the same. And also, this effect can be triggered each time for the entire team at most once every 3 seconds. So her new Mindscapes is much more powerful, and it was a bit suspicious that originally Evelyn and Astra Yao had kind of a bit sassy Mindscapes, but now they're much stronger, which is not so surprising to me at least. Mindscape IV did receive changes as well. The protection thing, it's now part of Mindscape I, and when quick assist is triggered to switch characters, it additionally adds 1 Moonlight and 3 Starlight stacks, which are considered special attack damage. And lastly, Mindscape VI, it received a significant buff. Now will have an increased crit rate by 100%, critical damage increased by 25%, and also each time 3 notes are consumed, automatically releases the 3rd stage of normal attack. And of course, there's also going to be a multiplier increase for her Moonlight and Starlight, all that stuff. It's typical Mindscape VI. Obviously, it's going to be very strong. So overall, with these changes, I'm very happy to see that Evelyn received these nice buffs, including her V engine also being nicely buffed and her Mindscapes if you care about that. But more importantly, her base kit has been extensively buffed. And also Astra Yao received pretty decent changes as well in her base kit. And also, I would say, quite significant big buffs in Mindscapes as well. So these are pretty much all V1 changes. If you have any questions or would like to add something yourself, feel free to write it in the comments down below. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, smile, and I guess this is it for this video. I wish you a wonderful day and see you in the next video.